Okay, hello everybody and welcome to tutorial number 8. We are going to work on some functions today. One of them has to do with creating array objects in polar arrays and of course rectangular arrays. So for this project we are going to develop a very simple isometric. So let's start our task using large objects, millimeters. We usually use this one. And on the top view, very fast, I'm going to create a cube, okay, that's going to be 20 by 20 and only 3 millimeters high, okay, of height. Then I'm going to create another design, which is going to lead me into my isometric. In this case, make a circle. Okay, this circle is going to be about 6 millimeters radius. Okay, let's do that again. 6 millimeter radius. Okay, and I'm going to make some lines. That will actually make a line here, and of course I'm going to make it tangent to my circle. Okay, and then I can actually split this line. We've done this before, so I think it's going to be very simple for you guys to develop this. Okay, so we actually have our design right here. Then I'm going to just join these curves, okay, and I'm going to make my another circle, right? But this time it's going to be a 3 millimeter radius. Okay. Then I'm going to extrude my two curves, solid extrude, and I'm going to have it both sides. Click on both sides, yes, and I'm going to have it with just the extrusion distance is going to be 3, so in this case it's going to be 6. And I'm going to just put it right in the middle of my isometric. Okay? Now here, on this side, select the curves that I have, and I can hide them just in the meanwhile. Okay? Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just put everything here, and I'm going to turn it into one single object. So I'm going to go to Boolean Union, and now I have a single object right away. So this is the isometric that I just created, and what I need to do is that I need to kind of like create some indents right here, like an indent, kind of like a connection with another pulley, so it can actually work. Okay. So let's see how that works. First, I'm going to draw a rectangle, okay? And this rectangle is going to start, I'm going to click on center, so I can start right on the center, and I need to create it kind of like this, okay? It's going to be, let's say 1 millimeter, okay, by 2 millimeters. 1 millimeter by 2 millimeters. So I just type in 1 and then 2. Remember to have the center there. Got it? Okay. 1 millimeter by 2 millimeters. If you want to see, I have 1 millimeter here, and then it's already like tangent to my circle. Okay. Now, let's start creating a polar array. I'm going to need this square to be all around the circle. Okay. I need it to be all around the circle. So what I'm going to do is click on the curve and then go to transform array. Now in this case, since it's a circle, I'm going to create a polar array. Now the polar array has a center. My center is going to be the center of my circle. Okay? Then the number of items is the number of these squares that I want around the circle. Okay? So I'm going to click on 8. Type in 8, and it says angle to fill or first reference point. My first reference point can be anywhere perpendicular to the object that I just created, to the rectangle. So I'm going to just click here, or 0, or angle 0, and then the second reference point is how much do I want this created. Okay, so I'm going to type in 360 because it's going to be all around the circle. Okay, press enter, and then I have a preview. I have a preview of the rectangles that I created. So they're all symmetrical and they have exactly the same distance. So if that is okay, I can just press enter, and then I have all my rectangles. Now my idea is to create some holes on my extrusion distance. Okay, so I'm going to create some holes here that will allow me to create kind of like spurs in order to be used on my object. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select all my curves. Remember to leave the shift button pressed. Okay, I'm going to select the curves, and of course remember that I can say make hole. I'm going to make some holes right here. So I'm going to Okay, so it looks kind of like this. Make sure that you only enter 2 millimeters inside. It doesn't go like right across. Okay, so that way the other object that I make, it actually goes inside this small portion. Okay, so that is pretty much how polar arrays work. Now, if I wish to make a rectangular array, I need to make it like rows and columns, different from an angle. Okay. In this case, I'm going to make this simple hole right here. Okay. And I'm going to array this. So I'm going to go to transform, array, rectangular array. So I'm going to select the objects array. I'm going to select my circle. And the number in X will be the number here. So I'm going to say that it's going to be 5. And the number in Y is going to be here. So I'm going to say it's going to be 3 or 4. Okay? And the number in Z, like how many times do I want to make it on the Z format? Okay, so on the height. So in this case, I just want it to be on X and Y. And here I have a preview, like, and the spacing of each one. Okay, so the X spacing and the Y spacing. We can just click on enter and we can see a preview. Okay, if you click on the right here on the circle, you can see a preview of the spacing, so you can actually get a little bit of notion of how many will be attached. So here I have 3, 4, 5, and then if I click again, then I will have my Y spacing, and I'll know that I can make it like this. So here I have a preview. Every time I click, I get like the X and the Y. So in this case, I am going to select them here. Okay. So here I have an array of all the circles that I needed. Okay. So this is just an actual array of all the circles. Now you can create holes on all these arrays. Press enter, and then I have all the holes. Okay. If I wish to select all the holes, I can just go from left to right on the front view and select all the circles, and then I want to make some holes in the bottom. I'm going to select the surface, and I'm going to say that I need some holes right here. So I got the holes right underneath my isometric. Okay, so in this tutorial we practiced again with making holes, but we also learned how to create polar and rectangular arrays for my objects. Okay, it's very important that you play with the spacing of each object to see what needs to be done, okay, or how does it fit. So okay, so this is what you are going to build. You're going to build this kind of like a system of polar and rectangular arrays. Polar arrays around and rectangular arrays. Hexagonal arrays. So you can build the hexagons with using a polygon and making sure that the number of sides is 6. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some of the dimensions. Okay, the dimension for this, it's for, let me see if I can fix this. Well, it's a diameter of 4 millimeters. Okay, it's a diameter of 4. Here we can see it closely. And these hexagonals, let's say, let's check out the dimensions, the linear dimension, or probably, let's see, curve length. Okay. There we go. So here, oh, actually, it's not working. Okay, so this is a 2 millimeter sided hexagon. Okay, 2 millimeter sided, and here we have, let's see if we can actually make the, it's probably about 1 millimeter. Let me see if I can do it right here. That way it's easier. Yep, it's 1 millimeter between the circles and this, and then 4 millimeter diameter for this. And we have a polar array of 16 circles, and we have 9 hexagons. Okay, pretty much the distance between these two, see if I can, it's around 5.27. okay, this would be the distance between these two, but pretty much is getting the hexagon with a 2 millimeter side and creating 6. Okay, just starting right from the middle. Okay, so you can use the big squares in order to kind of align of what you're going to do. And of course, we are missing our last, which is the, here we go, it's 3 millimeter width of our isometric or our object. Okay, so good luck with that, and see you next tutorial.